don't want to use being a single mom as an excuse because it's just a fact of life right now. I do struggle with being, overwhelmed or maybe a little bit depressed, anxious. And so people are in that state. Sometimes they find a little bit of satisfaction in buying little things.
What do you have in student loans?
That's not really important because
it is.
They're not in repayment right now.
How much?
I don't want to say.
We just put your entire financial life on display. You can tell us the student loans.
Oh God. I'll just say it's more than $200,000.
Yeah. Welcome back to Financial Audit.
Thank you.
We filmed almost a year ago.
Yes.
Almost. And time just goes by quickly.
I know. It's crazy.
You were doing quality assurance for a medical waste company, making 56,000 hours a year. We talked about bringing some licenses down here so that you could work back in the field of mental health counseling, right?
Yes.
Did we do that?
Yes, it's almost on its way through. Yes, I just contacted the state and they're like, oh, everything looks good. We don't see any problems. I can't tell you exactly how long it's going to take to process it, but the wheels are turning. So you know how it is with the state, it takes time. So this is for Illinois. So still, my Illinois license is about to come through. Yeah. So I'll be working remotely and then I'm going to bring transferred over to Texas. So
now earlier last year, the year we talked about it, you brought your kids 4 and 5 down. So I'm assuming they're about a year older from Illinois.
Yes.
And we had a lot of debt, but the crazy thing was there was the bombshell that dropped an hour into the video, essentially. $200,000 of undergrad and master's student loans.
Yep.
And no statements provided. We're in a different place than we were at the end of last year with the talks of student loan forgiveness and payments starting back up.
Yeah.
What has happened to these student loans?
Essentially nothing.
Are you paying on them?
Well, I guess technically yes and no. And I know that's kind of a weird statement, but they put the student loans on hold for everybody without interest and all this other stuff. I was like, okay.
You mean before, a couple years ago?
Yes.
Okay.
And then that expired.
Yep.
So now I'm on an income-based repayment.
Right, which are all essentially being challenged in court right now, which means you're likely in deferment.
I guess essentially that's what it is because my statement said, okay, your next payment is 0. So I'm like,
right,
cool.
Well, what kind of income-based repayment are you in? Do you know?
Basically they just go through all your finances and they see.
But do you know what program or what it's called?
It is. I forgot the name of it, but basically,
is it Save?
Maybe Save. What happens is, once you make all your on-time payments for, is it 10 or 20 years, and they forgive the rest.
Okay, a lot of that is being challenged in court right now.
Yeah, I know.
And there's lots of back and forth, so relying on that is unknown. Also, administration opinions change on student loans.
Yeah,
and it's usually the chair of the Department of Education that kind of makes things like that actually go through or not. So, what, $200,000 is a lot of money. You were making $56,000 a year. How much are you making now?
Just a little over that. Got a very slight raise. Okay. It's not much at all.
Okay.
At all.
Tell me what's happened. It's been a year.
Or like I told you last time, I was going to pay off some of that debt, which I did.
Okay.
I did pay off some significant amounts of debt. I still have a good amount left to go, but...
Well, you were getting $6,500 plus tax returns. Yeah. And your plan was to wipe all of this out.
That was very wishful thinking. I wiped some of it out.
Okay, so why wasn't out all of it? Why did the plan not come through?
Well, I ended up getting childcare services, but you have to pay a portion of that.
Okay.
So the additional monthly payment on that was like another brick on top of my back.
What was the payment?
It's $329 a month.
Okay.
Then...
Are we still doing that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because when the kids, after school, holidays, summer breaks, I want them to be going to the daycare and getting, education and field trips and all that.
With where we were, we were budgeting you to $3,661 to survive with only a remaining of $223. So obviously that goes over that. So have we been surviving?
We've been barely surviving. I've had to.
Have you budgeted? Have you built a budget? Have you gone through the education? What have you done?
I did.
Oh.
But then, of course, when all these extra debts started coming in that had to be paid.
Extra debts?
Well.
What do you mean extra debts?
Well, the child care, that had to be paid.
Uh-huh.
And then my son started receiving ABA therapy, which is very, very beneficial for kids with autism.
Okay.
Right? So my insurance, of course, lovely insurance companies, they only pay a certain portion after I meet their deductible, which was like, I don't know, $4,500. So that started building up, and I had to make all these payments.
How were we making the payments with only $233 left on a pretty restrictive budget?
Yeah, so I ended up starting to use some of my credit cards again just to buy groceries and pay the electric bill just to survive. So it's been
a second job wasn't in the picture.
I tried to find something where.
What does try? What did this look like?
Applying for jobs.
Who would have been able to watch the kids?
Nobody. I was looking for something I could work from home at night.
Needed to be,
and it didn't.
There's no customer service things. You been doing some extra work on like Upwork, anything like that?
Well, I was trying to donate blood, and that didn't work out. I think I answered the questions wrong. Oh. No, they were like, "Oh, you need to go see your doctor first." I'm like, "There's nothing wrong with me. I don't need to see my doctor."
We had a credit one at $668. Another credit one. By the way, credit one's like basically the worst credit card you can get. So that's like the definition of we know we're. $1,388, then One Main Financial $3,729, Prosper credit card $232, One Main Financial Brightway $725, Milestone $429, Merrick Bank $889, Destiny $282, and then Ally $5,275, which was probably a car loan. Now, the crazy thing is, other than the student loans and that Ally, and the One Main Financial, those balances are actually relatively conquerable, is the thing. Even with what was limited left over. Now, obviously, all those extra expenses, they start adding up. But they were relatively conquerable.
That's why I ended up paying a lot of the smaller ones. I did. I ended up paying a lot of the smaller ones off. I did pay off Ally because I'm like, oh my God. This is ridiculous. I did pay off Ally.
Yeah, it was at 33.24% interest rate of death, insanity, kill me.
Yes, I paid that off. I had paid off a personal loan. My car note is just ridiculous. It's a 2015 Jeep. It's got low miles, but there's issues with it. I truly believe it's too late to sue them now, but I honestly believe the car was in a flood, and someone probably just dried it off and resold it. Because I started noticing things later on. I'm like,
has the mechanic taken a look at this? Done a deep dive?
Yeah, they were like, oh, it's fine, but.
What's weird? What's bad?
Well, okay, there's water damage on the inside of the car. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. And then I noticed that the spare was rusted out. I'm like, this looks like something that had been sitting in water for a long period of time.
Okay, could have had a leak as well, but
could have been. It could have been. It may not have been anything, but either way, because of the situation I was in at the time, with my ex destroying the car that I had, a newer car,
relationship,
right? And I had to get another car, so I ended up getting this car at a much a ridiculous interest rate. So
the actions we talked about were getting another job while the kids are at school, coming home, cook them dinner, help with homework, and then we were trying to get just a more stable job as well, with a better pay. And you clarified that your job was pretty flexible, but you need to be available 9 to 6, and that you're open to like a $15 an hour data entry job.
Yeah.
What did we apply for, and how many?
Let me see. I applied for a few jobs.
Okay, that's not going to do anything.
More than a few. I put in a lot of applications. Apply now. I'm like, okay, cool, because I already had.
Was it the quick applies?
Yeah, and I already had my but I already had my resume on Indeed, so I'm like, oh, okay, this should be fairly simple. And then I would tweak my resume for the different jobs.
That's good.
But I think that some of those lower paying jobs, they just didn't hire me because when they see that your education and your work experience, you're like, this person is way overqualified. Why would we bother?
Oh, I read it wrong. I apologize. So you didn't have an extra 223. We were already underwater by 223 on a monthly basis. So we needed to make that up. Yeah. So my suggestion was bringing in an extra $1,500 a month with another part-time job. Easier said than done. It's always easier said than done. You know, there's an hour and a half to have the conversation, but there are still steps we can take. There are resources we can provide, like the course career certification. You know, there's lots of different things that can be done.
Well, I started a side hustle. Hasn't started making money yet. I just
did we have to put money into it?
No, that was a good thing.
Okay, what's the side hustle?
I'm actually really good at digital design. So I designed some T-shirts and came up with the concept.
Lots of people on the show, T-shirts, always T-shirts.
You know, because it's fairly simple to do, and really, I feel like it kind of comes down to marketing and stuff. And I actually put in a good amount of research looking to do stuff that hasn't already been done. And I think that was one of the biggest things is, you know, that sort of thing. So
we talked about that extra, bring another, you know, $1,750, which would give you an extra $500 a month after that $223 you have to make up. $1,500, and then it would take 20 months to pay off all the debt. And we're trying to get your medical license issued in Texas. And then we wanted to, you know, really start throwing money into your retirement, and your Hammer financial score at the time was a 0 out of 10. So let's see where you are, Let's see where these numbers are. Let's see where these debts are. Let's see where these accounts are. 2 checking accounts, one at $9 and one at $97. We had retirement, Roth IRA, no statement providing, admitted to having very little in retirement, and disclosed it's about $2,000, which is certainly behind. Because, I mean, you were 47. I'm assuming you're 48 now. Okay. Yeah, that's a very scary number heading into 50. So let's see here. You sent an interesting version. Instead of individual statements for the different accounts, you kind of sent screenshots into a Google Doc that you...
I just.
So are you saying these are what you paid off? Is that what this is? Is this what you sent us?
Those are the current. Those are balances.
Oh, these are balances.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
That should show the current balance in the Chase account.
Chase what?
Chase. It's just a checking account.
This is a checking account. So we went up to 2,713. That's incredible. What am I seeing up here? Hey, you put this together.
Oh, that was the payment that I made.
To what?
To Ally.
It was saying that the Ally's gone?
Yep.
Woo! $5,275.27 gone.
Yes.
33.24% interest. That's incredible. What are we seeing with this one main?
Okay. I need reading glasses.
There's 2 one mains. We had a one main financial and then a one main financial Brightway.
That is the loan payment.
To what?
Remember, I had a personal loan through them.
Yeah. Is that the Brightway or is it the one main financial? So you paid off the other $3,729?
Yes.
Dude, incredible. Because that was at 35.99. Insane. That's incredible. So now, we're looking at like $9,000 of high interest debt paid off. That's fantastic.
Whatever money I got in my hands, I paid off the ones that just were...
Yeah, because these are bringing down your minimum monthly payments. Because if we were looking, your debt minimum monthly payments at the time were... $1,160, which was obviously chunky. That was about a third of your money. Okay, Destiny. So Destiny, we were sitting at 282. Should have been pretty manageable. Looks like it was. It's gone.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Credit One. I don't know which Credit One this is.
The 600 and something one. That was.
And that's gone.
Yeah, that's gone.
Woo! $668 at 30% gone. Dead. Credit One.
That was the Amex, I think. Was that the Amex?
Well, I'm seeing Credit One.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so this was at 1388. This has actually gone up to 1532.
I've been using that too.
Why not Credit One? Why?
Well, I get rewards points.
No. With Credit One, you're getting fees up the asshole every single month. Every single month, fees are just getting destroyed. Typically, let me make sure. No fee was charged for this last month, but you did have $37.24 in interest. What rewards are possibly adding up to more than that?
Well, probably nothing. I honestly
nothing.
Really haven't.
It takes 5 years to pay off just doing the minimum monthly payments, but you're not just doing that. You're adding $93 of purchases and then the interest, which was more. Your purchases were more than the credits and payments you got. It went from 1,482 at the beginning of the month to 1,532.
I probably should have been a little bit more.
Okay, this sucks. I'm upset at this. We need to remember that you paid off about $9,500 of debt. $2,000 was added to this, so we're still at a net about $7,000 of progress. This sucks because it's credit one and the interest rate's horrendous, but I still want to look at this like a positive lens. However, if this is still behavior. This is still behavior on a bad interest rate card. And we're talking about rewards on a credit one. Like, so this is still bad behavior that needs to be fixed because this doesn't lead to any progress or happiness or anything that is actually benefiting you in any way. And that needs to be adjusted going forward, even if we're still making progress and positive steps in other areas.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
That's probably not
the card to be using.
I can't see the purchases. Can you pull up your app so I can see what they were?
No. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Are you going to pull it up?
Well, yeah, my phone's in my bag, though.
You can go get it. Are you creating videos as a full-time creator? It's a grind between scripting, editing, and, all those endless little tweaks. And sometimes it feels like taquitos would be, honestly, a better career choice. But that's where today's sponsor, InVideo AI, comes in. With over 10 million users across 150 countries, InVideo AI is the world's most used AI video creator. I remember hearing about other generative AI tools what feels like ages ago. And when I recently looked, most of them aren't even available to the public yet. But InVideo AI V3 is going to be available for access soon all across the world. It's the only tool that'll truly put you in the director's seat. So here's how it works. To start, you enter in a detailed prompt. For example, make a 1-minute video shot of a diver exploring the deep trenches of Mariana. Show the Statue of Liberty sunk into the depths of the ocean with just the torch in frame. Have the diver encounter a giant, scary, blue, glowing sea monster. Add a voiceover using my voice to the beginning of the video. The Mariana Trench remains mostly unexplored by man. InVideo's AI will generate a rough draft based on your input, and it's unlike any video creation tool I've ever used before. Remember, you're the director here and can prompt whatever changes you need, just like I did. So if you haven't checked out InVideo AI V2 already, go check it out right now for free. With paid plans starting from just $20 a month, and if you use my code FinancialAudit50, you'll get 2 times the number of video creation minutes in the first month. Scan the QR code on screen or check out the link in the description below to try out the future of video creation today. I want to shout out Yaya right now. I want to shout out very pleasant like fresh laundry smell, and I love that because many people come into this room smelling quite nasty, I will say. I never call it out because it's just rude, but you smell very pleasant. So thank you for that. Thank you. So you see it. It's up.
Report, yeah.
Let me see. Let me see. I want to see.
I know.
Oh boy, what do we got here? Free credit report, $5. Gas. Let's not put gas on a card that's just killing us. Same with the internet. There's interest, $37 of interest. Frontier. Come on, what are we doing?
That's a long story. I'll have to tell you offline.
Lock or unlock your card. I would lock it so that you can't. So that at least subscriptions that you're not canceling aren't being charged.
Well, that was just charged, and I put a reminder to
cancel
myself.
it.
I know I need to cancel that. I never meant to be charged.
It's not very free for something called free.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a trial, and I forgot to cancel the trial.
Okay, Capital One Walmart. I don't think I have. Did we have? I don't see this. We didn't have this one last time. Is this a new card?
Yeah, I think so.
What are we doing? It's at $2,253. Why? Why would you do that to yourself? Again, now we're all of a sudden net like what? 3,500?
We needed groceries.
No, you're just, I don't know. You're just moving your debt to a different place.
I know.
By the way, you're because you're using your extra money, paying off the debt, but because you have used all your extra money, you no longer have the money for groceries, as you say, or the subscription. You then put it on a new credit card. So we're not really closing the gap towards any progress. All right,
I'm not gonna lie, it keeps me up at night. I do think about it a lot. Like, I got to figure out a way out of this. I feel like I'm stuck in a debt loop. Because it's like once I get 2 steps ahead, like I'm 5 steps back.
Well, if you put too much towards it where you can no longer take care of bills, that will end up in a worse position. No one would suggest that.
No.
$2,253.41 on here, $78 minimum monthly payment, $286 of purchases, and they are from Walmart. At Walmart, though, you can get anything. So how much of this was 100% necessities? You know, that's the reality.
There's so much you can get at Walmart. Most of it.
You can get almost everything at Walmart.
I mean, true.
Come on.
I mean, food. I mean, how many little... I'm
Are you getting
a gadget kind of person?
Yeah, well, you could get Halloween decorations. You'd be getting tech. You could be getting clothes. You could be getting snacks that don't matter.
Yeah, probably.
$55.63 of interest accruing.
No, that's
13 years to pay off if you don't even spend on this. Is how long this takes if you only do the minimums. Okay. Daycare, yep. And then you told me about that. And you owe $20,000 on your way over financed 2015 Jeep.
God, that feels like the Jeep is sitting.
So that's new, right? Compared to last time?
No, because I still had the Jeep.
You had that last time. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Merrick Bank, 889. What's up with that? Where are we with that?
I did do something a little bit selfish with that.
What?
I was really, after wearing glasses and contacts for like 20-something years.
Got LASIK?
I got LASIK.
It's not necessarily selfish, but
I just couldn't take it anymore. My eyes were always irritated, and I was paying through the nose for glasses.
What are you telling me? You went thousands into debt?
$889
is what it was. What is it now?
No, I mean that was the down payment. It was like $800.
What is the balance of the Merrick Bank thing now?
Like 7 something. I paid some of that, so it's not bad. It's just I have to make monthly payments.
Okay, so like $100 to $200 of progress there. What about the milestone 449? 429 is what it was last time. What is it at today?
Milestones. Last time I checked the balance, it was about the same actually.
One Main Financial Brightway was at 725. What's it at now?
I think I paid that one off.
Good. Prosper Card, it was at 232. What's it at now?
That one I use it for small purchase because it has a small balance. So it's like 1 something I think now.
Come on. So like $100 of progress again. So you've probably made maybe $3,000 of progress in that, which isn't insignificant, but it is definitely slower than I was suggesting.
No, it's not where I wanted to be. It really wasn't what I wanted to be. Honestly, there were 2 things that really threw me off. It was the daycare and the health insurance payments.
Yes.
Those things I didn't anticipate having to pay so much for his therapy because I thought, they said this is covered under insurance. Well, but of course, insurance is only going to kick in after so much, and
sure,
So
your income went up a little. What are we expected when your license gets in here and you can do some counseling? What are we expecting?
Double.
See, there we go. That's incredible. Have you talked to other people in terms of their process of getting the license and what they think how long it might take?
I have. It's already been because I had to take the NCE, which is the National Counselor's Exam, and and you have to go through so many hoops for all the paperwork. So they were saying 30 to 45 days, and it's been it's been about 45 days. So I'm hoping that any
maybe
day
the call
now,
and get an update. I don't know.
The last time I called was maybe 2 weeks ago, and that's when they told me your application looks good. We don't see any errors. Just keep checking your email if there's any problems.
Keep checking that.
I've been doing that. So.
Then we start catering the resume, the letters and interview skills because you want to work for some clinic. I'm assuming.
Yes, but. One really good thing I'm really excited about is that I was in touch with one of my old professors who runs a clinic already.
Here?
No, in Illinois, which is
going
great.
Back up?
No. I can work remotely.
Oh, it's virtual.
Yes,
okay.
So the great thing
virtual at about 100,000? 120?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You see how much I pay my counselor every 2 weeks?
Well,
per hour.
Yeah.
It's like double what I make.
No, this is good.
Yeah,
and in your conversations with this person,
they're trying to set up a whole remote program. They're like, "Are you interested?"
Oh, okay. So it's a program that doesn't exist yet, though.
They're setting it up.
So either way, I think the name of the game now, since we're pretty much there to getting the license approved here, what I would be doing is sitting down, going, revisit the budgeting program if needed. Always maintain your budget. I would want to break even, not spending on any credit cards. So I would want to do minimum monthly payments on everything and at least be breaking even only out of debit. I would close your access to these credit cards so you can't spend on there and we're only spending a debit. If we're at least staying flat and not putting any more money on debt, and then we can, hopefully within a quarter or so, get a job in the field that you're meant to be working in. Don't lifestyle inflate. Don't spend any more money than you are now. Take all that extra money and you could be debt-free easily within a year. easily within a year. But that's if you don't inflate your spending is the thing. You get more money, don't inflate it. Do that, then get a fully funded emergency fund. And then honestly, you're probably gonna have to start contributing minimum 25% to retirement. Minimum, maybe even inching towards 30, because you need to start playing some catch up, because you can start withdrawing within a decade penalty free. Exactly. So, we're probably going to be looking upper 60s or early 70s. We talked about mid 70s last time for retirement. There's nothing wrong with that. But if we start stacking up now, we can still take advantage of time in the market, even if not as much as we'd hope. Yeah. So, I'm sorry. You don't know. Yeah. Because it's 59 and a half. That's when you can start penalty. I forgot for a second if you're 38 or 48, because you look good for your age. So
thank you.
You're welcome. So yeah, that's the name of the game. What is critical now? Please, for this next quarter or so, while we're working on this job situation, budget so that you're at just a flatline budget, not putting anything more on debt. I'd honestly close your credit cards because you're putting money on credit cards. You open a credit card. I don't think you should have access to credit cards. You just can't do it. You can't manage them correctly. And then go through a new debt class as well, because what it does, you get it for free, obviously. What it does is it talks about in detail how you should be getting out of debt. And we've kind of already gone through that part. But then the more important part for you is eventually, once you are debt free, you have the emergency fund, you're contributing to retirement, how you can start utilizing debt again to your benefit and how to manage it correctly. So go through it. So I think that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game. Once you get that job, we're still maintaining your spending where it's at, getting out of debt, and getting a fully funded emergency fund within a year and a half total. At the latest.
I mean, I'm not as far off as I thought I was going to be by now, but
$3,000 of progress is less than I wanted to see. But
yeah, me too.
But we can start accelerating that quickly. The spending wasn't horrendous. I mean, I didn't see a checking account, in terms of spending, but
that's where all the bills. The rent and the car payment and the insurance and the. Ain't nothing to spend.
What's your rent?
It's all the rent.
Yeah,
$1,300.
Okay.
So, because just about everything's on automatic payment. So there's really nothing to spend out of the checking account, because everything's coming out left and right to make sure everything gets paid on time. Because when it comes to my kids and our roof over our head, I don't play around with that. So the rent's always paid on time, the electricity, gas, all that stuff.
Well, you're paying internet and stuff on credit one. Yeah. So we need a flatline budget. That's the next step for this next quarter. And then putting everything that you make more when you double your income towards paying off the debt, getting the fully funded emergency fund. And then after that, 50% on needs, 25% on wants, 25% on investing to give yourself a chance for retirement. Okay?
Awesome. I do have a question for you.
Please.
Though. What can people who do want to, because I know you said a lot of people are doing side hustles, a lot of people doing research, stuff like that. What do you have any advice for anybody who's really trying to get a side hustle off the ground? Because a successful side hustle can really help you.
It get can. Out of debt. The thing is, side hustle is so vague. There is so much you can do. Some people want to get into drop shipping, and for that, 80% of people fail. Some people want to get into day trading, where 95% of people fail. The side hustle. Well, you want to do the T-shirt thing?
Well, I'm putting it together. I've already got my Amazon merch account set up. I know they take a lot.
The thing is, for you specifically, I really feel like just a remote customer. It didn't cost you anything, but what it is costing you is time. That time could be a remote customer service job for even $10 an hour, and I think that is still probably more valuable for your time right now.
I do it if somebody would. Maybe I need to stop putting master's degree and all this other stuff on my resume.
Potentially, because what they're gonna see when they see that is that you're gonna leave very quickly.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, these little menial jobs, stuff that I worked when I was a teenager.
You can downgrade your resume.
I guess I'm gonna
for
have
those
to.
Specific ones. Because I think that's just going to be a better value time. Because something like that, where that's almost more of a business and a side hustle, the lines are very blurred when it comes to those terms. Something like that's going to take years to build up to the point where it actually makes sense for your time. And we're not talking years here. We're talking stabilizing for a quarter and then paying off debt in a year and a half with your better income. So honestly,
I'm able to do all of it.
I know.
Designing is something I just do in my spare time. And,
exactly, but well, okay, then we can do that on top of, as long as bills are paid.
Oh, of course.
Via potentially a second job.
And that was the thing.
It's costing you time.
Well,
If there is extra time on top of working a potential second job to stay even, that's where I'm like, okay, do it.
I mean, I kind of use it as like my hobby / self-care.
I get that,
time.
but if we can't pay our bills and bills are going on debt, then we do not have time for self-care and hobbies, because you're literally not caring for yourself. Your debts is stacking. Okay, so that's where I'm like, yes, you can have time as long as you're flatlining your budget at a minimum until we're able to get this high paid job. Okay. Does that make sense?
Okay. But in my defense, I do it late at night after the kids are sleeping.
Listen, again, I'm not against it as a concept.
I don't want to, instead of watching TV, I'm designing something.
I gotcha.
It helps.
But I would also say
honestly.
I would rather work as a second job than, watch TV. So I'm not against this as a concept. It's whether or not the time makes sense. Okay. So balance it as long as the bills are balanced. Again, you're putting things like internet and groceries on a credit card. So something that might take years to take off might not be the best use of our time right now. Do it after bills are paid.
Absolutely.
Flatlined. And right now,
but if any of the viewers want to support a single mom-owned business, feel free to click the link if they put it on there.
I don't have the link.
T-shirt. I will send you the link.
You'll send the link.
If you'd like to.
I wasn't expecting it, but you're a pleasant person. I'll put it in the description.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. If you would like to buy a really, really cool shirt that supports single parents, hey.
All right. Spending in a budget, that's going to be a 0 out of 10 because you overspent it because it's going on the credit card. If we're talking emergency fund, 0 out of 10. Retirement, 0 out of 10. But your debt has gotten better. Nothing's in collections. It's still not good. I'll give you a 2 out of 10 there. And retirement is still behind, right? Has that?
Yeah.
No. In retirement, that's, well, no, because you open new credit cards and stuff. Your retirement's still pretty much where it was?
Yeah.
Real estate, 0 out of 10. Okay, because you do not own a home, correct?
No.
Okay, well that's okay though. It's still progress. You could have made more progress, but we do have a bright horizon going on in the future.
I'm really genuinely working on it.
So that's going to be a Hammer financial score, 0.5 out of 10. Would you recommend people come on Financial Audit?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Especially some of the people I've seen. The world
is crazy out there. Lots of financial mistakes.